DETV News is powered by DART, Delaware's transit service. Moving forward.
Tonight, could a local football team's playoff dreams be at risk? Find out why a TV commercial featuring local high school players may lead to major penalties. Plus, Rehoboth Beach's fire department proposes a citywide fee to handle rising emergency calls. And in honor of a fallen hero, Newcastle County Police spent a day giving back to the community. See how they're keeping the memory of Lieutenant Joseph Zerba alive. Those stories and much more straight ahead tonight on DETV News. Good evening and welcome to this DETV News Brief. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks for being with us this evening. Here's what's making headlines around Delaware this Thursday, October 3rd. A 21-year-old Smyrna man, Alexander Singletary, has been charged with the murder in a fatal shooting of Barry Best, 50 years old, of Dover, Delaware. The incident occurred Monday on South Governors Avenue in Dover, where officers responded to reports of shots fired. Best was found with a gunshot wound to his upper body and later died at Christiana Hospital. Singletary was arrested Wednesday during a search of a home on Newcastle Avenue. He faces multiple charges, including gun offenses, and is being held on over $1 million bond. An unrelated arrest was also made in this case. Here to Newcastle County, Wilmington police have arrested 2 men in connection with the 2019 cold case murder. On November 25th of 2019, officers responded to a shooting in the 2300 block of North Washington Street, where they found 2 gunshot victims. A 20-year-old man was hospitalized in stable condition, while 19-year-old Rajon Dinkins later died from his injuries. After years of investigation by the cold case unit, police identified 21-year-old Akeem Henry and 19-year-old Ramir Black as suspects. Both men were indicted by a Newcastle County grand jury in September. Akeem Henry faces multiple charges. Those include first-degree murder, attempted murder, and illegal gang participation. He is being held on $1.2 million bail. Ramir Black faces similar charges and is being held on $1.75 million bail. And a former University of Delaware student has been sentenced to more than 7 years in federal prison for cyber stalking, making interstate threats, wire fraud, and money laundering. 30-year-old Kyle Stevens from Mays Landing, New Jersey, was also ordered to forfeit over $1.4 million in fraudulently obtained pandemic relief funds. Stevens was indicted in May of 2023 after being extradited from Germany, where he was moved to study in 2020 and committed most of the crimes there. Court records show he began stalking and harassing 2 female classmates while attending the University of Delaware in 2018, sending them threatening and anti-Semitic messages after personal disagreements. His harassment resumed in 2021 with threats sent via email and social media. Alongside the stalking, prosecutors say he applied for fraudulent loans under the CARES Act, successfully obtaining over $1.4 million, which he laundered through investments and cryptocurrency. Stevens will serve 87 months in prison, followed by 3 years of a supervised release. And whether you're planning a day out or just enjoying the fall warmth, Shakira is here with all the details you need to make the most of your weekend. Happy Friday Eve to you, Shakira.
DETV News Weather is brought to you by Real Life Prosthetics. Live life fully with Real Life Prosthetics. Your ability is our mission. And happy Friday Eve to you, Matt, and all of our DETV fam out there. I'm sure everyone noticed that today was much brighter, it was warmer, and just all around more comfortable. And guess what? That trend is sticking around tomorrow and into the weekend. Now, for Feel Good Friday, TGIF, it won't be wall-to-wall sunshine, but it will be a nice mix of clouds and sun with a high of 76 degrees. Evening temps will dip into the low 60s, but hey, that is a major upgrade from those gloomy skies we've been stuck with. And I pulled up a fun fact. For this time of year, we should be hanging in the low 70s, but Mother Nature is treating us with some bonus warmth. We're talking upper 70s all weekend long. Saturday and Sunday are going to be absolute gems with bright skies and temps hovering around 75 degrees. Soak it up, because late Sunday into Monday, we might see a few light showers, but nothing that's going to hang around and ruin your plans. And looking ahead to next week, it'll cool off a bit, but we're staying dry, so no need to put those sunglasses away just yet. All right, DETV fam, you heard it. Get outside and enjoy this perfect weather. And Matt, I'm thinking that this weekend's going to be ideal for a nice run because, you know, we can justify all that Halloween candy that we're going to dive into later this month for Halloween. Back to you, Matt.
Shakira, I may have already dug into my candy, but we don't need to talk about that right now. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend. Turning now to Sussex County, where leaders at the Rehoboth Beach Volunteer Fire Company are pushing for citywide fire service fees to address funding shortfalls as calls for service continue to rise. The fire company president said the proposal, which was years in the making, is becoming more urgent as the department faces an increasing workload. In August of this year alone, they handled 628 fire calls. That averages about 20 a day. The volunteer fire department currently relies heavily on donations as well as ambulance subscriptions, but officials say only about 16% of city residents subscribe to the ambulance service, and just about 12% contribute to their fund drive. Officials believe the proposed fees would help cover daily ops, future projects, and fully staff a third ambulance. They say relying solely on donations is risky, especially given economic uncertainties. The proposed fees would apply to anyone with a tax ID within Rehoboth Beach, including both residents and businesses. The city has yet to decide on the fees, but the department hopes a task force will be formed to help explore the best path forward. There's no definite timeline on this, but they anticipate a plan could be drafted within the next 6 months, and then we go to public input. We're going to stay in Rehoboth now for this next story. Well, with summer over, dogs are now allowed back on the boardwalk and beaches of Rehoboth, but there are some rules that pet owners need to follow. From October 1st through April 30th of next year, dogs are permitted on the beach and the boardwalk. However, the city does require dogs to be leashed and under supervision at all times. Owners are responsible for cleaning up after their pets. Rehoboth Beach police have microchip scanners to help reunite lost dogs with their owners. That's good there. And again in Rehoboth, 2 longtime Rehoboth Beach restaurants, Just in Time and Arena's Deli and Bar, have actually closed their doors within just days of each other. Both restaurants announced their permanent closures on social media. Just in Time restaurant, located on Route 1, had been in business since 1998. The restaurant, situated on what's called the Forgotten Mile between Rehoboth and Dewey Beaches, has been listed for sale for $2.35 million. Arena's Deli and Bar announced its closure after more than 20 years in business. No reason was provided for its shutdown. That chain, which started back in 1990, still operates its flagship restaurant in downtown Rehoboth, along with locations in Georgetown, Lewis, and Milford. And several members of Indian River High School's football team may face sanctions after appearing in a local TV commercial for Hershey Exteriors, which aired on local television stations across Kent and Sussex counties. Over 20 players and coaches were featured in the ad, which was filmed at their stadium in Dagsboro. The commercial aired just before new Delaware Interscholastic Athletic Association regulations go into effect, forbidding athletes from promoting products. The ad ran from September 8th up until today, when it was pulled off the air by Hershey Exteriors. Here's where it gets confusing though. The commercial would have had the chance to be allowed under the soon-to-be active rules had the players been in generic uniforms or at a random facility off of their campus. DIAA is investigating potential violations, and penalties could affect the team's playoff hopes as they currently stand at 3-1. DIAA's new regulations go into effect that will allow high school players to make professional deals using their names and images. These changes to DIAA rules are set to take effect on October 12th, so in just a few days. The DIAA Board of Directors has its next 2 meetings on October 12th and then again on November 9th, and it will be at those meetings where a decision will be made on any potential sanctions against the school, its staff, or the players. We'll keep you posted there. And in Kent County, 2 Dover City Council members are questioning City Solicitor Nicholas Rodriguez's role in handling all legal cases, highlighting a sharp rise in legal fees. Councilman Brian Lewis and Roy Sudler expressed concerns over a nearly 3-fold increase in the legal budget for fiscal year 23 to 24, exceeding over $300,000. They argue that Rodriguez is subcontracting cases unnecessarily, burdening taxpayers. Rodriguez defended the practice, saying subcontracting has been standard. The councilmen are also worried about the potential conflicts of interest. In honor of fallen Newcastle County Police Officer Lieutenant Joseph Zerba, a day of service was held on Tuesday. Officers visited the Brandywine Valley SPCA, walking adoptable dogs and introducing them to potential adopters. 44-year-old Lieutenant Zerba was fatally stabbed while arresting a suspect back on September of 2011. His memorial was recently vandalized over Labor Day weekend of this year, and authorities are seeking that suspect. Anyone with information is urged to contact Newcastle County Police. And before we sign off for tonight, a heads up for our City of Wilmington viewers. We want to let you know that Wilmington's annual leaf collection program is going to kick off soon, Monday, October 14th. The Department of Public Works will collect leaves in specific neighborhoods through December 20th. City sweepers and vacuum trucks will clear leaves from designated areas. Residents are asked to sweep their leaves onto the street next to the curb for collection. However, some streets can't accommodate the vacuum trucks here in the city, so for those areas, residents should use brown paper bags and place them at the curb for pickup. Residents using private contractors should ensure bags are bagged or collected according to the city's schedule. For more information, city residents can simply call 311 or visit wilmingtonde.gov/311. And that's going to do it for this DETV News Brief. Don't forget to follow us all across your favorite social media platforms for updates on what's happening all around the great state of Delaware. And if you've got a comment, question, news, or sports tip, you know where to send it, press@detvch.com. For Shakara and all of us here at DETV News, I'm Matt Ford. We'll see you again here next week. Good night. We don't talk about prostate cancer enough, and it's the most diagnosed form of cancer and the second most common cause of cancer death among black men in both Delaware and the United States. Approximately 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime, but just by asking your healthcare provider if you should get a screening could help you detect prostate cancer early and save your life. So let's talk about it. Talk to your healthcare provider today about a prostate cancer screening if you are 40 years of age or older, or have a family history of prostate cancer. If you don't have insurance, or if your insurance doesn't pay for cancer screenings, Screening for Life may provide you with the screenings that you need, and Nurse Navigators make this process easier. To learn more, visit healthydelaware.org/prostate or call 211. Ask your healthcare provider about a prostate cancer screening, and you're asking for so much more.
My name is Jason Aviles, and I am the founder and owner of Fly Yogi, and I'm here to share with you some tips to be able to help fight opioid addiction. Opioid addiction is a real growing problem here in America. And I'm here to share with you some tips that you can be able to integrate into your everyday life to really fight against opioid addiction. One of the first things is redeveloping your mindset. One of the practices that I like to use daily is meditation. And what meditation does is it brings you clarity of mind, and it helps keep you grounded, and it improves your ability to make decisions that you are going to benefit from. A lot of the time we find that addiction is rooted in our mindset. It's rooted in how we think and how we perceive, and therefore how we act. So this is a really good way to help fight against that energy of addiction. The second thing is improving your lifestyle through diet and exercise. At the very root of addiction, there is substances within the body that's causing the addiction on a physical level. When we begin to introduce healthier foods, plant-based foods, we begin to remove and detox the substances that are in our body that's causing and attracting the addiction. So through incorporating more fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and even drinking water on a daily basis, you're going to put your body in a state where it's going to be able to fight the root causes of these addictions. The second part is exercise. Exercise is good for mood. It's good for energy. It's good to increase vitality. It's good to get your heart pumping and get your blood flowing and get oxygen moving throughout the body. So through engaging in physical exercise, complemented by incorporating healthier foods, you're putting your body and your mind in a state where it does not want what's causing these things that are manifesting negatively in your life. So addiction can really be decreased by just incorporating a healthier lifestyle through diet and nutrition, exercise, and then also making sure that you're tackling the mind through mindset, through meditation.